There are painkillers to manage migraines and antibiotics for infections. But for heartbreak, there is no easy cure. Dozens of Belizean families suffer heartbreak each day since the disappearance of loved ones, some over a decade ago. There is agony in not knowing, there is suffering of having stranded hope, and there is just bottomless pain of feeling helpless and lost. But we are here to try to do something about that. I am retired Lieutenant Colonel George Lovell, and this is Missing. Tonight's first missing case takes us all the way back to July 2014, almost 7 years ago. 24-year-old Dwayne Young was enjoying a turn for the better in his life. He was 1 week into a steady job, had a partner, and was looking forward to building a comfortable life, until he and that hope for a better life simply vanished without a trace. We spoke to his sister, Fanina Burke, to give back life to this cold case.
The oldest sister of Dwayne Young. And I was partly the second mother to my siblings. There were 9 of us. He was the 5th child. Well, Dwayne Young was a quiet person. He wasn't the type of person outgoing or, want to be in the spotlight or, want to be seen or loud. He was reserved, laid back. If you don't talk to him, he won't say anything. He wasn't someone who will put himself out there to be in trouble or, misunderstanding. He was loving. He was loving to all of us, was there for all of us. He was, someone you could always call upon, no care what, good or bad, anything you need him to do for you, he would be there. So Dwayne was about 8, 9 when my mom moved from Jane Ocean, went to live in Los Lagos, and she transferred him to Lady of Our Way Primary School in Ladyville. He went to school there from Standard 2 to Standard 6. After he graduated from Standard 6, he didn't want to go to college because he was this type of person not really into books or nothing to do with paper, books or things like that. He were more good with his hands, fixing stuff for people or, just catch and kill, do little things,
Wayne continuously searched for positive avenues to allow him to take care of his own responsibilities. Staying on the right path led him to a wonderful opportunity, but sadly, that was cut short.
He was lucky that he found someone told him about a vacancy they had at the medical center at the boom cutoff. At that time, they needed a groundskeeper, and he knew that, he can handle the job. He went for an interview. He collected all the information they wanted, his passport pictures and police record and everything, and he took it. They accepted him, they gave him the job, they gave him the opportunity. And he was working 1 week good there. On his 2nd week, he went to work as usual, 6:30 in the morning. Reached there, did his usual job. By midday when it was lunch break, he left to go home to have lunch. And usually he has lunch at his, at that time, girlfriend's house, which wasn't that far from the boom cutoff. That was in between the cutoff and Los Lagos Junction. He went there to have lunch. When he went there to have lunch, it was he didn't expect to encounter what he encountered when he went to his girlfriend's house to have lunch. When he got there, he met an unknown male person at his girlfriend's residence. It was kind of probably awkward for him, and she and him had a little talk, nothing like hard talk or nothing according to her. And the male person, guess like he get aggravated that he saw my brother there. So the male person start, hard talk and say what he have to say. According to the girlfriend, my brother didn't see anything. All he did was just like watch she and walk away. When he walked away, according to her, she saw when he left, heading towards Los Lagos, meaning that he was going to my mom's. Moments after, she said that the gentleman, the male person, was leaving her home. When he came out, he saw his vehicle windshield broke, and he assumed that my brother did it, which is there were other people out there, or probably it was already shuttered, because he would never do something like that. He is the type of person who will just walk away. She said my brother wasn't that far away from the house when the male person came out, and the male person shouted at my brother, "You will see what I will do to you." She said my brother didn't see anything, he just continued to walk away. And from then, my brother didn't even reach my mother's house. And he disappeared right there.
After Dwayne didn't turn up to his mother's or girlfriend's house, panic set in for the family, and they decided to act.
My brother went missing on the 28th of July, 2014. He was 24 at that time. So July coming will make it 7 years. He's missing now. He would be like 31 now if he was, still here. So when he went missing, he had just celebrated his birthday, the 20th of July. So 8 days after his birthday, he went missing. At first, when she called me and I told her to make the police report, I wasn't worried. Because, he's a young man and me probably just, I didn't think that anything bad will happen to him or. So she went to make the report. She came back and she informed me that she made the report. I was like, okay, let's wait and see. And then the Wednesday now came. I started to get worried. Like I got this feeling as a sister, I started to feel uneasy. So I contacted my mom and I asked her what was the police saying or what were they doing. She informed me that they just went to see where he was living and went to the girlfriend's house and asked a few questions and, stuff like that. I took it upon myself and I advised my mom that we have to do more. We have to reach out to the media itself, Just before he got the job, I was the one who assisted him to get the passport size pictures, but that were recent. So I had one. I contacted my mom and I told her to come and meet me in the city. We took the photo to Channel 7 and I let my mother do the interview.
The family, along with a detective, conducted countless search operations in the Los Lagos, Barrel Boom, and Biscayne areas. Their searches turned up nothing, and police, during their investigations, did interview both the girlfriend and her male friend who had the confrontation with Dwayne.
The person that my brother had the encounter with at his girlfriend's house, I can't recall if they said that he was with other people. All I could recall, they said other people were there. And that was passed on to the police. They did pick up the guy. I don't know what to say came out of it because later I found out that the guy was a police himself. They said they questioned him and he was later released. The search even took place at the girlfriend's house. They managed to drain her septic tank, to see if probably, they disposed of my brother there, and nothing came up. But with the girlfriend, it was like a whole lot of turning around, and at first, I didn't know her. I just met her the day when I went with my mom but my mom knew her. According to my mom, she was texting her, and contacting her, and I kind of get upset. And I advised my mom not to be in contact with her anymore because she wasn't any kind of help. To me, in my personal feelings, I felt that she was involved. And probably this wouldn't happen if it wasn't because of her actions. So I did meet up with her at the police station when we were about to do a third search. And I was upset, and I expressed my feelings towards her that I didn't want her anymore to be involved with the search of my brother.
Dwayne's sudden disappearance resulted in overwhelming emotional grief for the family, especially the mother who was already ill.
The disappearance of my brother really affected my family drastically because first, besides me suffering, my siblings are, worried and suffering the same, but it took a real hard toll on my mother. My mother was diabetic, and with the disappearance of my brother, it's like she went on a downhill. Like, she didn't care about her illness. She wasn't even bothered to worry about that anymore. She was like fretting. She was constantly in this sense of mind that she wondered if he's here or here, there, or, Then sometimes she would just sit out at the blues and would call the police and say, let's go check there or here. So like, my brother's disappearance was her everyday life. Till it reached a stage that I think my mom was losing her mind. Literally meaning that she would sometimes at night in her bed and she feel like my brother is stopping on the window and hailing her. That he would usually do sometimes. Like if he's late and they're already locked up for the night, or probably she's taking a nap during the day and he's there and want to come in, or things like that. Or she would hear like him walking around the house, or she will hear him in the house itself. And sometimes she find herself talking to him and he's not there. And it just really take a real hard toll on her health. So she had a heart attack after that, a mild one that she didn't tell us about. She didn't inform us. We thought, because besides she was diabetic, she had asthma. So when she used to go to the hospital, we will think that it's because of her asthma, not knowing she had a mild heart attack and didn't see anything.
When journalists interview families with missing loved ones, it's obviously impossible to capture the entire story in just a minute or two. Clearly, what these families experience is much deeper. We will take a quick pause for a very short commercial break, but stay tuned to hear Fanina recount a breakthrough on this missing case. And we'll also hear a tragic update about her mother. Be right back. Good night and welcome back to Missing. This is Belize's first program that is exclusively dedicated to the families of missing people. Today we are covering the mysterious yet painful story of Dwayne Young, who vanished in 2014. His older sister, Fanina, has bravely sat down with us to tell us his story. She said the anxiety of her brother's case caused her mom to first suffer a minor heart attack that she kept secret. But as months went by, without any closure, Dwayne's mom simply could not go on.
My mom passed away the 11th of September 2016. 2 years after, she died of a massive heart attack. And it wasn't, to the end, she was, reaching out for him. Knowing that, you had this child in your stomach for 9 months and you gave birth to him and you raised him and someone just come and take him away from you. It really pulled her. When she died, I guess she was at peace knowing that, she can be with him again. It's hard because all we had was our mother. We didn't really had a father figure around. We don't have any other relative besides 2 uncles. And we had our grandmother too, but she passed just a year after my brother. Then it was like hard because we lost our brother, then our grandmother, then our mother, right back to back every year.
One day, Crime News broke a story of human remains found in the Belize district. And as grim as that may be, it offered Fanina hope that her brother may have finally been found.
A couple of years back, they had found human remains in Los Lagos. They had found a skull. When they found the skull was found in an area where he used to live, not far from where he used to live. When they found the skull was missing off the rest of the remains. It was missing off the top and bottom jaw. And when they found that, they did contact me. I went to the Ladyville police station. They took me from there to the medical center at Boom Cutoff. And the pathologist explained that the skull, after examining it, he can definitely say the skull belonged to someone that was between the ages of 20 and 30. It's a male person between the ages of 20 and 30. I was like, I knew it was my brother.
While Fanina's optimism was growing, so too was the family of another missing person who were also seeking closure.
Today spoke about the human remains found on Thursday near Los Lagos in the Belize district. The family of 82-year-old Hubert Richard.
When my brother went missing, around that time, there was an elderly gentleman that went missing the same time. Around probably nearly the same era. He went missing from Lord's Bank Junction. So it was like our family and his family looking for their loved one. From the pathologist explained to me that it was a young person between the ages of 20. I said, well, it can't be the elderly gentleman. It has to be my brother. They told me that they needed to take swabs to verify, but they couldn't take it from me because then me and my brother share the same mother, but we don't share the same father. He and my other siblings share the same father and same mother. So we made arrangements. I called my sister, one of my sisters. We arranged for her to get swabbed. And believe it, up to this day, she hasn't been swabbed. The family of the elder man that was missing, according to the news, they were the one who found the rest of the remains. And they claim, say, it was their elderly father. Just before this interview, I went over the pictures that I had And it so dawned on me, and I probably missed it the first time I saw it. I zoomed in on one of the pictures and I saw, at first when I was looking at the pictures, I only saw the bottom jaw with all the teeth in it. I zoomed in on the picture that I probably missed, and I saw the upper teeth jaw with the remains, and all the teeth was in there. So I start thinking, but this elderly man family said that he had dentures, and he left his dentures at home. So it boils down, it can't be him.
This family's unfortunate roller coaster of emotions ranged from grief to despair. And yet, all they want is closure. Fanina shared with us her lingering emotions and a message to those who were involved with her brother's still unsolved disappearance.
He was not a fighter. And I knew whatever they did to him, he didn't fight. And that what hurt me. Because I remember growing up as siblings together, and my brother will get in any neighborhood squabble or any argument with other kids in the neighborhood, I would be the one to fight for him. I would be the one to throw a hand and squabble and punch. He would just come home and cry. And it hurts me knowing I wasn't there to fight for him, and know they chanced him is what really gets me angry sometimes, because they chanced him out of his life. He didn't fight. Most family members of missing person would say that they forgive the person or persons who hurt their loved one. At this point, I can't say I forgive them. Some people say, oh, they decided to be God. No, they decided to be the devil and take his life. At this point, we don't care who they are or what they did to my brother. All I want is them to be man enough to at least have the decency to know that years have passed. And if you want to ease your conscience, say something, send a text, or even write a letter and leave it somewhere so that we can know where he is. We just want to bury our brother. It's really hard on us. But we are at ease knowing that we know where our mother is. We laid her to rest, and we can visit her at Beringong and, go to her gravesite and know where she is. But our brother, that's the one that really still haunts us, because torture us, they would say, because we don't know where he is.
It's completely understandable if any family member of missing people expresses the same emotion and sentiments as Dwayne's. Missing will take our final commercial break, and we'll be right back. Thanks for staying tuned in to Missing. The family of Dwayne Young is still searching for needed closure, almost 7 years later. The pain is relived every day, and the vacuum cannot be filled. Dwayne's mother, like we said, died from a broken heart after being battered for a day too long by her son's disappearance. If anyone has any information that they believe can be of assistance to this family, we beg of you to speak up. You can send a message to them or you can anonymously contact 922 TIPS. If you have a missing loved one and would like to appear on this show, we would be happy to have you. You can send us an email at info@colorblind.bz or send us a message on Facebook. We are here to help however we can. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We hope to have you back next week again. Missing airs at 7:30 p.m. on Mondays, live on CBTV. Until we see you again, please remember, see something, say something. Enjoy the rest of your night. Goodbye.